सर्वेभ्यो नमः। ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्य शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namah. Why do we call Vedanta transcendental wisdom? It is often referred to as something that is way above all branches of knowledge, all forms of knowledge, all fields of knowledge. It has become an idiomatic expression to say when you want to assure somebody about some subject, it's not so difficult. You will say, oh, don't be so afraid. This is not Brahma Vidya. Today in English they have a similar idiom, which is of course of a much lesser order. If somebody is trying to teach you, for example, swimming, and you are a bit nervous, they will tell you, oh, don't be afraid. You can learn swimming in a few days. Have patience. Swimming is not rocket science. That's what they say these days. But rocket science also is peanuts before Vedanta, which is called Brahma Vidya, transcendental knowledge. Transcend means to go beyond. So, in a rather simple way, we shall approach this topic in this webinar 286 under FOI Forum, and we will take some mantras of selected Upanishads to show how the original Upanishads, which are called the Vedanta primarily, more than Prakarana Granthas like Atmabodha or Viveka Chudamani, Vedanta Sara or Panchadashi, it is the original Upanishads, Ishavasya, Kena, Katha, Mundaka, and so on, which constitute the Vedanta. And I already said our approach is not going to be very advanced this evening in India, and this morning in the West. I heard that all of you in the West were so eager to attend this webinar, you even put a clock 1 hour ahead, sprang forward to attend this webinar. That's very encouraging for us to know that. So here we are, with daylight saving having begun this morning in the West, or I don't know whether you call it Wild West. Here we are with this webinar. For a change, I will share some slides this evening. So I was making some slides. That is my latest excuse for being a little late. Previously, I used to give other excuses. Okay, so let me see. Oh, I need to first open that, I guess. Yeah. And then come here. I suppose the first slide is showing now. If it is not showing, please interrupt me and say, we are not seeing the slide. If it is showing, let me just continue.
It is
So the title, I hope it is showing.
Yeah, it is seen.
Huh?
It is seen.
It is seen. Vedanta, the transcendental wisdom. First of all, this transcendental needs to be explained. It has nothing to do with dental or occidental, oriental, etc. It is formed of the verbal root transcend. In a whole lot of contexts, we have pairs of opposites. We have triads, groups of three. We have many categories, maybe 10, maybe 20, maybe 100. We, in a whole lot of, if not all subjects that you and I study, put a thing, anything, in this box or that box. There are boxes. There are camps. You call somebody a Democrat, somebody a Republican, somebody a BJPian, somebody a congressman, somebody Westerner, somebody Easterner, and so on and so forth. Everywhere to classify is possible, but transcendental is where this matter goes above such classes, above such divisions. Transcendental. A simpler word for it is beyond. It is beyond any color, beyond any caste. Vedanta, the truth of Vedanta. By Vedanta, here we mean the truth conveyed by the Vedanta. Vedanta otherwise is a system, is a certain way of communicating the highest truth, and that highest truth which the Vedanta conveys transcends all kinds of categories, classifications, types, and so on. We will see actual examples of such a transcendence in the slides that will now follow. Take the Ishavasya Upanishad. The Ishavasya has a couple of mantras which can stun anyone, which can perplex anybody. Take, for example, this fourth mantra. Anejadekam manaso javiyaha. Without moving, without shaking, without trembling, without making any movement. This truth is faster than the mind. That itself is mind-boggling. And the mantra says, this, though it has no vikara, no movement in it, is so fast. Can you imagine? Even gods could not catch it. Na ena devaha apnuvan. Why? This one, purvam arshat. Purvam arshat means before the devas could realize what is happening, this truth as though was ahead of them. Devas symbolically represent our senses, eyes, ears, and so on. Therefore, the Kathopanishad of Samaveda says, no mind can reach there, no eyes can reach there, nothing can overtake it. But the line that I would especially highlight is the third pada, tad dhāvataha anyan. Anyan means a whole lot of other runners, those indriyas, the mind, and people, animals, birds, anything that is moving in this created universe, they are all others. Dhāvataha, which is also second case plural, anyan, dhāvataha. Everything that is running, atyeti, is overtaken. This truth of Brahma overtakes, passes, goes ahead. And the wonder of wonders is, it does so tishtat. Tishtat means staying where it is. In the Puranas, such wonders are made a bit easier for us to understand, while Subramanya goes on his peacock in a brave, bold, adventurous attempt to cover the entire universe. He goes very fast on the peacock. Ganapati sits just at the same place. Tishtat. Tishtat means sitting at one place. And in the Purana, the story is a bit easier for even children to understand. After quite some time, Ganesha gets up, goes around Shiva and Parvati, and says, can anyone dispute the fact that the entire universe is inside you? And if I go around you too, Jagata Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau. I go around the parents of this entire universe. I have practically gone around. So he didn't take his mouse. The mouse, you can imagine, was smiling, sitting at a distance. I got a holiday. I thought I had to get ready to go. But my master gave me a nice holiday and he achieved what was to be accomplished. Leave aside the Puranas. The truth of awareness is such that space in which any movement is to take place is within the truth, within Brahma. Time, which is the denominator in deciding or finding out the speed, is within Brahma. Space, time, causation are all within this Brahma, and therefore there is no question of anyone within space, time, and causation acting smarter than Brahma. Tishtat, staying where one is, one atyeti, passes, overtakes. And the last line talks about Matarishva Podadati. It is the Ishvara principle distributes results of actions to all living beings, well placed within Brahma. The first three lines, first three quarters of this mantra, thus indicate certain time or rather certain transcendental quality. You just say that, oh my God, I was trying to think of Brahman as though it is comparable with light. Is it faster than light? Light is just an appearance in the space, so to say, of Brahman. Therefore, it is transcendence. It is beyond. Kena itself, yeah, that was Ishavasya. Now we come to another mantra of Ishavasya. Apparently, some mantras have contradictions. Second quarter of this mantra says, Tat Dure, and in the same breath as though the Rishi says, Tadu Antike. Tat U Antike. It's far and it's near. One of the Vedanta teachers humorously comments, a guru says this to a disciple and the disciple is so confused because the guru says at one moment this Brahma is far, next moment the guru says the Brahma is near. The Shishya with folded hands says, makes a request to the Guru. Guruji, take 5 minutes and decide whether it is near or far. But after 5 minutes also the Guru says, okay, now let me tell you one last time. It is far and it is near. Again, this is the transcendental nature. You cannot put Brahma into either the camp or box of things that are far or the camp or the box of things that are near. Well, these labels cannot do justice to Brahma. But if you want to say, yeah, it is far. Like this drawing, is the cycle going to the left or to the right? One look, it seems to be going to the left. Another look, the cycle seems to be going to the right. Contradiction. In addition, the mantra says, it moves, tat ejati. Means it moves. Tat na ejati. It doesn't move. Tat antar asya sarvasya. It is inside everything. Tat u sarvasya asya bahyata. It's outside and it is inside. No, please do not imagine all this is mere philosophical indulgence. Some people mistake Vedanta to be an activity in which people whose stomachs are full indulge. As though everybody whose stomach is full, as though everybody who has enough comforts with them goes into Vedanta. Those who go for Vedanta are a very small percentage of humanity, and it is not anything to do with having enough wealth or having enough to eat, having enough to wear. No. Poor and rich, and old and young, depending on their mental maturity, go for Vedanta. So, what is the practical significance of this? There are numerous practical forms of significance for Vedanta. It is a blunder to imagine that Vedanta is a mere intellectual pleasure. If any of us deeply understands the Vedanta and comes upon what we call ātmanishta, then to give one example of its practical application, which you don't have to apply, but it happens. That application happens at your hands. You know what it is? You become samadarshi. You do not envy a rich person having 5, 10 Mercedes or BMW or Rolls Royce or whatever, gold and diamond, whatever. You don't envy a rich person. You don't pity, look down at a poor person. And likewise about yourself. If you enjoy very good physical health, you won't feel proud or arrogant. If you are sick or you are, for some reason, unavoidable reason, if you have some health issue, psychologically you do not suffer. You are aware of it. You may even go to the doctor, but you are not somebody to take the hand to your head and cry, why this to me? I made a mistake. I should have first looked into my health and then gone into Vedanta. In the name of Vedanta, like this, complaining and crying and lamenting and regretting and blaming X or Y. None of that happens. In Atmanishta, you bear with, you take in your stride everything. That is the implication of transcending. Therefore, Swami Chinmayananji always showed this truth of the Vedanta with that symbol Om in his famous BMI chart. That Om is above OET, objects, emotions, and thoughts. It is above PFT, perceiver, feeler, and thinker. It is above BMI, body, mind, and intellect. It is above vasanas. It is way above. And he often roared, wake up to your true nature, which does not suffer from the limitations of body, mind, intellect, etc. So, this great waking up is a quantum leap. It's not a gradual movement. It's not passing through many stages, though it appears to be so from a distance, but actually it is a movement from time to the timeless. It's not a journey in time. It's not a journey in space. It's not a journey from cause to its effect. Actually, there is no journey. It is best described as waking up. Then we are tempted to take a mantra from Upanishad in this fourth slide. I hope we did not miss any. No. In the Upanishad, there is really what is described in today's English out of box thinking. Out of box. Upanishad says, you want to know the supreme truth? That is viditad anyat, other than the known. Oh, then it must be unknown. If it's not known, then it is unknown. Oh no, wait, don't be in a hurry. Atha u aviditad adi. It's other than the unknown also. Say Shiva, Shiva, where is this leading me? Doesn't allow me to come to a conclusion. Neither the known nor the unknown. And we are so conditioned by our usual language. Some of us may say, then what under the sun is it? It is not under the sun. The sun is under Brahman. We have generally these expressions. What on the earth can make you happy? What under the sun will bring a smile on your face? And so on. Once I was a little serious. I gave a lecture, and during the lecture I did not smile. After the lecture also, I spoke to my students with certain grimness. Finally, one lady, I remember her name was Veronica. She knew Hindi also very well, though she was an English woman in San Jose, California. Now no more, poor lady died. But she gathered the courage. She came to me because all other days I was quite friendly with all of them. Swamiji, she said. I said, yes. You are very serious today. "Hmm. What can turn you on?" I laughed. What can should we crack a joke? Should we bring something for you to eat? She asked. She was much older also than me, so like a aunt or elder sister, she could speak. I laughed and said nothing like that. I didn't sleep enough last night. Whatever. So, what under the sun? What on the earth? These are all expressions. On a serious note, these are expressions which exhibit, which show how bound we are by the phenomenal world. In this phenomenal world, where buds open to become flowers, where children grow to have mustache and beard and so on, where institutions rise and fall, where government moves from one hand, maybe from Republican to Democrats and then Democrats to Republicans and so on, in various countries, from one party to the another. So many emperors came and emperors went, and many times, because of the bias of historians, certain great emperors go unmentioned in the history thereafter, and some puny kings are praised endlessly by certain vested interests or lobbies. So that's called the phenomenal world. You and I are so conditioned by the phenomenal world. For us, the outside world also is a movement in time, space, things happening, causes becoming effects. What was a seed has now become a tree, and the tree in turn gives fruits and the seeds. We see that, and inside we ourselves also go on judging ourselves. I am what I am today because so and so helped me. When I wanted to go to engineering, somebody says, my parents raised their hands. We don't have the money to send you. And I was thinking of suicide. Somebody, I mean, that's not my story. Then it was this uncle who came from nowhere. He said, I will look after your expenses. Therefore, today I am an engineer working with Amazon, with Microsoft, somebody says, with chest up. So, cause and result. Thanks to that uncle, was a godsend. You know, I am what I am today. So that's the phenomenal world. But here, Brahma is not a phenomenon. Brahma is something which cannot be put in either the box called the known or the box called the unknown. It is that light in which mind operates. And the mind then labels certain things as known, certain things as unknown. Do I know Malayalam and Bengali? Someone says, yes, I know both the languages because I am a Malayali but grew up in Calcutta, so I know both. Oh, I see. What about Spanish and German? Ah, that I don't know, he says. So the mind says, Bengali and Malayali I know, and German and Spanish I do not. So box of the known, box of the unknown, but both these thoughts, I know and I do not know, are shining in the light of pure awareness which knows no boundaries. This is also transcendence, out of box. You can't put it in this or that category. And then the same Upanishad has another great mantra. Yasya amatam tasya matam. Matam yasya na vedasaha. Someone claims I know it, then be sure he or she does not know it. And someone doesn't claim it, so he perhaps knows. In a beautiful story that appears in Vedānta Upanishad, a short one, when King Janaka places 1,000 cows with gold on their horns and says, whoever is the best knower of Vedas may come and take these 1,000 cows with gold upon their horns. So many Vedic scholars gather, and Yajnavalkya is one of them. For a few minutes, nobody claims, I am in these days, at this time of history, I am the greatest knower of Vedas. No one claims. But Yajnavalkya, with a mischievous smile on his face, says to his disciple, my dear Somashrava, please take these 1,000 cows to our Gurukula. They will be very handy. We will find them useful. He doesn't say, I know the Vedas. He just says, let's take these cows. They will be helpful to us. All the other scholars get furious and then they engage him in some dialogue, questions, including a lady. Of course, the lady had come with a lot of love and devotion. Her idea was not to somehow pull Yajnavalkya down. Gargi was among the 8 people. Gargi appears in 2 sections, therefore, in 9 sections of that 4th chapter, we have fourth or third chapter, we have beautiful dialogues, but the beginning part is interesting. He doesn't say, I know Brahman, because he knows the truth of this mantra. And then he is ready to answer questions. And he does so with great excellence. Avijnatam vijanatam, vijnatam avijanatam. Unknown to those who claim to know, and known to them who keep mum. Sri Ramakrishna made things simpler. He narrates a story we find in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. A father sends 2 boys to a Gurukula. After 12 years, both the boys come back. He asks both of them in the presence of many villagers, what did you study in the Gurukula? And they give a long list of subjects. And then the father asks the first boy, did your teacher teach you Brahman? And the first boy says, yes, of course, our teacher, the best one on the earth at this time, and we were blessed to study from him. And about Brahman, he said, so the first one spoke, recited many mantras. Brahma is above, Brahma is below, Brahma is the cause of all causes, but itself is not caused, and all kinds of mantras he recited. The villagers were impressed. Then the father asked the second boy, "Tell me, dear, what is Brahma?" And the second boy, in a very touching story given by Sri Ramakrishna, just puts his head down and does not say a single word. No arrogance, no pretended or pretentious humility. He just keeps quiet. And the father then says to all his friends, relatives who had come, "This second boy knows Brahman." How wonderful. No wonder his disciple Vivekananda went all over the world teaching the Upanishads. The master spoke of bhakti, devotion to the Divine Mother, but he had all the wisdom of the Upanishads. Therefore, a famous saying, I'm sure all of you have heard, a famous quote of the Vivekananda is, "My master was a bhakta outside but a jnani inside. I am a jnani outside but a bhakta inside," he said. How wonderful. What a great legacy they left behind. Now again we have Kathopanishad. This idea of transcending, not belonging to this or that group, is best expressed by Nachiketa's question itself. First chapter, second Khanda or second Valli, and 14th mantra. Anyatra dharmāt, anyatra adharmāt. Neither dharma nor adharma. Don't put this Brahma, this supreme understanding. Don't make Brahma a thing somewhere. You are Brahma. Brahma alone is. Therefore, it is an understanding. Anyatra asmat krita akrita. Don't put it in the box of krita means effect. Akrita means the cause in this context. Krita, what has come about, effect. Akrita, not what has not come about, but it makes something come about. That is cause. Anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha. Bhuta is past, bhavya is future. So these divisions of past, present, and future do not touch Brahma. Nachiketa asks Yama, if you see anything that is in this manner, untouched by right and wrong, untouched by causation, untouched by time, and we add in this graphic, beyond time, beyond causation, which are meant in this mantra, and one more line, beyond space, though not mentioned explicitly in this mantra, it has come elsewhere. For example, in Taittiriya Upanishad, Brahmananda in the beginning, Vedanta puts the whole picture that we have of life upside down. We think we are in space, but Brahmananda says, you are that Atma, from you comes space. Tasmad va etasmad atmanaha akashaha sambhutaha. Akashad vayu vayoragniha agnerapad prithvi, panchabhutas are mentioned. But Brahma, Brahmavidapnoti param tadeshabhyukta satyam jnanam anantam Brahma yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman. Praising Brahma, the Taittiriya second chapter says, from that Brahma which is no other than Atma, tasmad va etasmad atmana, from Atma. Starts with Brahma but then says from this Atma, from this or from that Atma. That is one way of showing Brahma and Atma, though normally mistaken by people as different. As per the highest revelation of the Vedanta, Brahma and Atma are one. Tasmad va etasmad atmanah akasha sambhuta. So space comes from us. We are not in space. For that, mental purification and sustained contemplation on the Vedanta is necessary. Many students of Vedanta complain, my mind is impure, I have a lot of worldly tendencies. I am attached to men, women, places, gold, silver, fame, name. Nothing new. Everybody said this from time immemorial. Swami Chinmayananji gave a golden formula for curing ourselves of the disease of worldliness. He said, attach and then you will detach. If you have been spending 10 minutes so far in contemplation on Brahman, increase it to 15 minutes. Engage, attach. If you attach to the higher, without your knowing, you will find you are detaching from the lower. What earlier seemed to be impossible becomes easy. Asanga shastrena dridena chitva tatapadam tat parimargitavyam, says Sri Krishna in the 15th chapter. So Upanishads are meant for careful study and a little sustained contemplation. Don't worry about how many hours and whether you do at 4 a.m. or night 10 p.m. All that will fall in place. But in a day, give some time. Not to give a lecture, not to write an article. Those are all secondary. Whether you write articles or not, give lectures or not, you start an ashram or not, you become known in the society or not, people attend your lectures or not, people look at you as a Vedanti or not, all of them don't matter. In your private life, known or unknown to people, if you are connecting with Brahman, with God, with through this contemplation, you will find that life becomes a truly rewarding one. You will be so happy. Who cares whether people know you your happiness? If people think you are happy but actually you are unhappy, is that desirable? We would rather prefer all people thinking you are a wicked fellow, but you actually are pious. You have love for all. You have peace in your heart. Let people think. Let people label you. Let people call you this or that. For that, Vedanta Chintana is necessary. We go to a fourth Upanishad, Mundaka. After Isha, Kena, and Kata, Mundaka. The question by Shaunaka itself is hair raising. Wow, what a question! Is there something, O revered sir, knowing which everything is known? This is transcendental. Nowhere else you have anything like this. So many Nobel Prize winners came and went. We have reason to believe that they were as unhappy as most other people. Yes, they would have for some time felt good about their winning a Nobel Prize. But in life, happiness is not guaranteed by any trophy, any amount of material income. Shaunaka asks Angirasa, is there something? Kasminnu bhagavo vidnate sarvamidam vidnatam bhavati. And Angirasa talks about aparavidya and paravidya and indirectly says that in paravidya what you ask for is given to you. Go for paravidya. In aparavidya, no matter how many degrees, how much qualification, including scriptural knowledge, you know not only Upanishads, you have memorized Shankara's commentary on the Upanishads, let us say. With due respect, that will not cause or bring about liberation. It's good if anyone knows Gita shlokas, Shankara's commentaries, not only knows but gives right explanation. Hats off to her, hats off to him. But you to know Brahma is a different ball game, so to say. This is also transcendence. In no other subject you can talk about. Know this and nothing else needs to be known. That is, you come upon a sense of completeness. a sense of, in fact, it is more negation, that inadequacy, that self-rejection. Oh no, I haven't arrived where I had to. Oh my life is going west. Whatever. Self-rejection or crying over somebody rejecting us, somebody not accepting us as we are. That somebody is not outside us. When next time you feel this lady, that man, that community, this family thinks negatively of me and that hurts me. Hold on. That family, this lady, that man, those people, they are all in your mind. When you get nearer to Atmanishta, even their making mockery of you becomes a blessing. It was how you looked at them, what you interpreted, how you interpreted some remark they made. That caused heartburn in you. Purify your heart. J. Krishnamurti used to say, can you live without getting hurt anytime? Challenge, what a challenge. To live without getting hurt. And he himself would clarify, you cannot avoid being hurt by simply making a birthday resolution. Tomorrow onwards, I'm not going to get hurt. If you decide like that, you won't go far. But it requires understanding. Even in the language of bhakti, if there is a true bonding, an intense feeling for God, then we will not be hurt by anything. So, bhakti and jnana are two languages for the same inner growth. So, what a question! Knowing what is everything known? Literally, it's not that you know any subject and all subjects. There's no need to know all those subjects. Why should you know? Do you know anything about artificial intelligence? Do you know anything about nanotechnology? Do you know about the latest uh, Nobel Prize awarded to in the medical field? What was their discovery? Why should I know? I should be completely free of a sense of I am no good, I am not okay, I have lagged behind, I would have been much ahead if I had not done that mistake. This self-blaming, self-rejection, Atmaninda is a disease that goes away. You are at peace with whatever little you know. The need to know and not knowing, feeling low when you do not know vanishes. That is the truth. Almost the last slide. We go to Taittiriya. It is again a transcendence of two camps. Here is a lady bending down in the picture saying, oh my God, I should not have done some sin of commission. Then I should have avoided some other sin of omission. Two things bother us. Certain things where we think I should not have done it, but I did. And certain other things I should have done, but I did not. I did not do what had to be done, and I did what should not have been done. These are two kinds of. Taittiriya Brahmanandavali says at the end, etam havava na tapati. Kimaham sadhu na akaravam. Nakaravam na akaravam. Did I not do something which had to be done? I failed in my duty. And some other time, did I do something which was sinful, which was violation of dharma by any standard? Oops. So sins of commission and omission, one rises above them. And the last part says, Saya evam vidwan ete. Ete is dual number. These two kinds of tapa. Etad, ete, etani. So ete is the two kinds of sins of commission and omission. As you are blessed with the deep insight of the Vedanta, though like anybody else in your life also many things went wrong in a sense, but the height where you have reached makes you look at all of them without any conflict, without any heartburn. You neither hide that from anybody, nor do you trumpet it all over the town. You know, in 1963 I did this wrong, and in 2015, after so many years, I again made the same blunder where I have not learnt and grown at all. Oh, and so on. So Vedanta says, hold on. Who did? Are you the Kartra? So Atmanam Spranute, that expression has a meaning something like all these get merged in the Atma. Everywhere you see Atma only. To use a metaphor, you take a chalk piece and go to the blackboard and you write ugly. You write UGLY, ugly. You are a teacher. Students see ugly, oh ugly. Then you write beautiful. And then you say, dear students, girls and boys, this ugly and this beautiful are one. Students ask, how can they be one? Both of them are chalk powder. With a chalk piece, chalk powder. Chalk powder is looking as ugly. Chalk powder is looking as beautiful. See, come and touch it. What will you get in your hand, in your fingers? It is all chalk powder. Atmanam spranute ubhau. Yeah, what is that? Ete. Ete is the dual number, both of them. Last but not the least, for a change from Upanishads, I take you to a small piece. In fact, though the words pramata, prama, and pramana, knower is pramata, knowing is prama, and what is known is prameya. An instrument of knowing, if you use one, is pramana. That would be another. But triad, triputi is talked. Shankaracharya, in a very profound comment on the sixth mantra of the first khanda of the first mundaka, 116. In his bhashya, he begins. He says, please understand the phenomenal world where karma is the dominating factor, dominant factor, is different, and jnana operates in a different way. So the first four lines in this quote are about karma. Vidhi Vishaye. Vidhi means I have to do this karma, this is my duty. On the Ekadashi, I have to do this. When Purnima, I have to do such and such vrata. Or in our modern times also, you and I have lot of duties, responsibilities. Karma. There, a sense of I am the doer arises. Kartra adi. Kartra, the doer. Karma is what you act upon. Karana is you use an instrument. You want to write a letter. You take a pen, you take a piece of paper, letterhead, write. So, karta, karma, karana, sampradana, apadana, adhisthana, vibhaktis mention it. And the work has to be done. After knowing what needs to be done, there is a phase. Please. Just by knowing that I have to write a letter, the work is not done. You have to sit down, take paper, take pen, or these days email, open the laptop, put your fingers on the keyboard, write, and then send button. Then the work is over. In karma, it is there, the time distance. Agnihotradi lakshanaha. I gave the example of writing a letter. Shankaracharya gives the example of Agnihotra. You came to know, you studied how Agnihotra is to be performed, but you have to do the Agnihotra, right? Which involves karta, karma, karana, and all that. But in jnana, wonder of wonders is na tata iha, fifth line. It is not so in the Advaita jnana. Na tata iha paravidya vishaye. in this higher liberating wisdom. Vakyartha jnana samakale eva. If there is understanding, right understanding dawns upon you, that instant, this is a very mind-boggling thing. This can, facilitate, or this can lead to a lot of debate. How exactly? What is meant? It's a very profound, one of the top level pieces of Shankara's commentary. He says in Jnana, not Pustaka Jnana, not memorizing mantras or shlokas, not like a computer or a machine delivering definitions out of memory, but in that intuitive grasp of Brahma. Jnana samakale eva. Not even 1 nanosecond you have to wait. There is nothing more to be done. It is complete in itself. Jnana samakale eva tu paryavasito bhavati. The matter is over. And he further emphasizes Kevala Shabda Prakashita Artha Jnana Matra Nishta Vyatirikta Abhava. There is nothing. Abhava means nothing. Vyatirikta means other than. There is nothing other than right understanding. This is what makes Vedanta transcendental. So, there are other places, I could not get the quote in short time, where Shankaracharya explicitly says, Pramatra Prameya Vyavaharaha Samapta Bhavati and so on. That Triputi ends. But what is quoted here, what I have shown also, is indirectly the same. That Karaka Vyapara, Karaka, a doer and an object of work, an instrument of work. Any work has certain components. Like in a cricket match, there's a bowler, there's a batsman, there are fielders, there's an umpire, there's a wicket keeper, there are spectators. Then the cricket match goes on. Karma is like that. But in jnana, it's like waking up from a dream. In the dream, oh, so many components there were. All the components of the dream at one go vanish. Brahma eva arpanam, Brahma eva havihi, Brahma eva agnihi, Brahma eva karta, Brahma eva ahutihi, Brahma eva gantavyam. Brahma arpanam, Brahma havir, Brahma agno, Brahma nahutam, Brahma eva tena gantavyam, Brahma karma samadhina. So that is same thing as what Shankara calls or describes here. Therefore, we try to go to some depth, but I try to explain things in a little simple way. But Vedanta is called transcendental wisdom, for it doesn't fall in the category of any other accomplishment in this world. Becoming a scholar, becoming rich, winning prizes, getting awards, going to moon and coming back, and sending a rocket to Mars, becoming president of this country, there's so much of going and doing and becoming and showing off. All of them have a place. We are not against them. If a young man comes running to us and says, Uncle or Grandpa, see, I got a degree from that reputed university, we pat him. Very good. Congratulations. And we are not against it. But we know in our heart of hearts that these are okay in their own place. They are okay. But this boy or another girl, whoever, eventually will have to ask deeper questions in life. This degree, this trophy, this recognition will not make their life truly blessed, fully blessed. That requires paramarth, paramarth jnana. Om Namah Paramarashibhyo, Namah Paramarashibhyaha. So, over to all of you. Please raise your hands and one after another, either ask or make a comment.
Pranam Swamiji.
Namaste.
Thank you for your wonderful teachings.
Thank
My
you.
question is, you are using Vedanta and Brahman interchangeably in your teachings.
Yeah.
And that's still creating a Dvaita Bhava. Vedanta mostly only talks about Tattvamasi.
Ah.
So how does this transcendental help me to understand Tattvamasi?
Yeah.
That's one question.
Ah.
I, as a jnani, mostly dwell in immanent God rather than transcendental reality. So my question is the Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita says aprameya and transcendental are they synonymous?
Yes, aprameya. That which cannot be known, that which cannot be measured. Yeah, it's the transcendent. It's the transcendental truth. The Advaita Vedanta says, you are that. Therefore, there is nothing like putting your hand on it, getting to know it. Yajnavalkya says, neti neti. Let go of the notion you do not know. So, as far as how you began the question, I am using Vedanta, Brahma Vidya, and Brahma synonymously. Yes, that's what we do. As you know, there is the popular statement from the Vedanta, Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati, which is in the actual statement in Mundaka Upanishad, Sayo Havai Tat Paramam Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati. In a simplified manner, Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati, Brahma knower. So the knower of Brahma and that Brahma Vidya, all of them are one at that highest insight. Because it is not a thing. If it were a thing, then how can the thing we know and we, the knower, be one? And the knowledge about it be the same. So Brahma Vidya is going in the initial steps of language, linguistics. Brahma Vidya is knowledge of the thing. Brahma is the thing, and I am the knower of the thing. So there are three. But these are all initial vyavahara. Nate dvaitam na vidyate, Gaudapada says. When the insight takes place, the duality crumbles, he says. Upadeshad ayam vadaha, nate dvaitam na vidyate.
Thank you.
Or making simple, if I may say along this, Sri Ramakrishna says it's like the salt doll which tries to measure the depth of the ocean and dissolves. When the salt doll understands how deep it is, there is no salt doll separately. I say all this, I'm not claiming I know it fully, but this is the material. We must reflect on this material. Half an hour afterwards, like many of you, my mind also will go wild with so many things. Oh my God, I have to do this, I have to reply this email. Oh my God, lazy, self-judgment, judging others, all that happens to us. But that is the fun of life.
In the same context, when
Yes.
somebody in the Upanishad says, I know Brahman, I don't know Brahman, do they mean by my understanding, maybe, you may correct me if I'm wrong, my
Yeah.
understanding when they say I know Brahman as a subject, I don't know Brahman as an object. Is that what they mean?
Yeah, in Kathopanishad, that student replies,
Right.
Naham manye suvedeti, no vedechi vedacha.
Correct.
In a sense, I know. In another sense, I do not know. Then the Guru is happy. Oh, then you are understood. So there is more than the words, it is a certain position we take. If we take a position that I am the knower and Brahman is the object of knowledge, gone. But though I am using the word, I now know Brahma. And inner understanding is there is nothing like claiming or possessing and I know and this wife of mine doesn't know yet, that brother of mine is from long distance to go and then gone. Those plurality overpowering us is sign of lack of knowledge. Plurality continues just for vyavahara. Yes, so I know, I do not know. By words, by just saying the words, nothing, it doesn't mean anything.
But the understanding behind it.
Correct. So the whole attempt by giving those puzzling statements, he who knows does not know, he who does not know does not say, what all those in 3 or 4 sentences. The whole exercise is to bring us to the right understanding. Then whatever you say is okay. Even if you say pretending to be arrogant, I know, only I know, you people don't know, okay. If you are doing it out of fun, that's okay. Because you really don't have ego. You are pretending to be egoistic, which is fine. Yajnavalkya did that a little bit in my understanding. He did some fun, had some fun there, saying, Somashrava, take these cows.
Thank you.
So, Ravindra Murthy, please unmute and please speak.
Hari Om Samji.
Oh, here some
Can you say
information.
that it's not a word wisdom, it is only understanding, that's all.
Yeah, so my point at the end was, once the understanding is with you, words do not matter. Even if you go stand on a high platform and say, I'm a donkey, it doesn't matter. Say, I'm a donkey. It doesn't bring you down when there is understanding. When there is no understanding, you go on a high platform and say, I am most religious in this town, nobody else is anywhere near me. Those words don't mean anything. Actually, you are arrogant.
Yes,
Yeah, so understanding is what matters.
correct.
What dress you wear silk dress and go roam about, doesn't matter. You eat meat, doesn't matter. You have 3 husbands or 2 wives, doesn't matter. That doesn't mean we are giving a license to anybody and anything. But Brahma Vidya is like that. Brahma Vidya, it doesn't get tainted by some external cultural issues. Eating meat or having 2 wives. Even Dasharatha had three wives. So there are all these cultural issues, and sometimes some prarabdha acts upon an enlightened man also. So we are nobody to judge. So understanding is important. If somebody has the understanding, he does whatever he does. He is a blessing irrespective of his lifestyle. Yeah, Ravindra Murthy, please go ahead.
Swamiji, thank you for the wonderful teachings. I just wanted to allude to the earlier point you made in the beginning part of your presentation, where we see this as transcendental and yet immanent.
Yeah.
It is transcendental and yet one with everything.
Oh.
And we see this as a fact based upon the Kathopanishad mantra 214, Avasthatraya Viveka, we see Swapnantam Jagaritantam cha Ubho Yena Anupashyati. That alone goes into all and yet retracts itself when the manifestation disappears. So beautifully conveyed by that mantra. And I wanted to add this to your wonderful presentation.
Sure. Swapnantam Jagaritantam, where Anta means the inner truth. The truth of Swapna, the truth of waking, if one knows. Correct.
And it becomes a fact of life, which everyone can verify.
Thank you. Yeah, you added something very valuable. Okay.
Swamiji,
when perceiving, that is understanding, improves, the performance automatically decreases. Some amount of imbalance occurs in this logical world.
It is a
So,
passing phase. Stay on.
uh,
Stay on. Your performance may come down, and people may also start blaming. She was all right till she attended all these Vedanta classes, etc. Have patience with them also, and have patience with yourself. You and I have to do it, because this journey is arduous. Journey is tough. It does happen sometimes. We go through some tamas or rajas also may come up, but if we have gained some deeper insight, it's worth going through some fall here and some rajas and tamas there. We bagged, we got hold of something.
yes,
It's like an adventurous person rushes into the jungle and then takes a gold or some pearl in his hand. By then, some wild animal hurt him. He escapes and comes back. His blood is coming on his arm, but he says, "It's okay, it's okay. The lion hurt me, but I escaped. Here is the jewel I got." Krishna himself fought with who is that? Jambavan. And Sri Krishna himself got wounded badly. Jambavan also got wounded. Finally, Jambavan understood this man who has come from somewhere is my Rama. There is a story, Samantakamani story. So finally, Sri Krishna, you can imagine, in that great avatar, he comes back so exhausted, but he settles score and keeps his promise that I will get that Samantamani and remove the apavada that I had stolen. That's a famous story. So our Adhyatma sadhana is like that. You and I might have to pay a heavy price sometimes. Some mistakes may take place, something we try to do and we may fall and rise, doesn't matter. In the whole process, if some beautiful learning has taken place, that learning is the Samantakamani that you collect.
so
Yeah, bear with them. They may comment, people may comment, and there may be some truth also in what they say. But you see things from a larger perspective, then you will, deep inside you will have a certain peace.
yes, sir.
There was
So,
sorry, I say, yeah.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to listen to you. Yes.
Correct.
There was a saying something you were.
Yeah, there was a Mahatma, and some people went and told him that, we heard some very bad stuff about you. That young lady in that family, she is pregnant, and they say you are cause of it. The Mahatma said, yeah, that is true, he said. But after a few months, Chinmayanand used to tell this story. After a few months, the parents of that young lady found out that that was somebody else. That their daughter was in love with somebody who was being protected in some scenario. But then they went, why did the Mahatma accept? The Mahatma not only accepted, which he had not, he was not the father of that child, but he even agreed to take care of that young lady for some months. Later, everything's dust settled. That's a wonderful story. So in that Mahatma's case, he was not into anything wrong at all. Whereas in the case of many of us, we might do something wrong at certain time. But what is important in life is, have we learned? Have we become mature? Then we must have peace born of that recognition. I learned, I grew through such and such error or blunder that I committed. Yeah, we must not be, in simple summary, we must not be too attached to how people look at us. Our own family, our own relatives, our own near and dear ones may sometimes distance themselves from us. Take a deep breath and say to God, well, I had to go through this. That's fine. I have no complaint, God. Yes, as long as I am with you, you are with me. Let your love be with God, not with any other rich or poor man, famous or political or there are all these people whom generally we value because of our worldliness.
Dhanyavad, Swami. Self,
Okay.
so at least self-acceptance and self-compassion should be the backup
Correct.
chart.
And that, you're right. Acceptance and compassion cannot happen unless there is self-understanding. Put yourself in a larger perspective. Then understanding takes place. Then acceptance takes place. I'll give you an example. Suppose I am very proud of my family, and then at my hand something terrible happened, something immoral happened. Then I can be deep inside, I can feel very guilty. God, I am from such a well-known family of my town, and I was the last person to do this. But I did this, some financial misbehavior, let us say. But wait a minute, you may be from any big family, but you are a human being or not. I am a human being. And like millions and billions of human beings, I also have tamas and rajas. So that's larger perspective. If you think because I am grandson of some Maharaja of Mysore or some other big scholar, nothing can go wrong at my hands, that is very narrow-minded thinking. Sometimes, as you know, in very eminent families, biggest blunders are committed. So I am a human being. And yes, some rajas tamas played in my life. That's a larger perspective. I am always Mr. Clean. Nothing wrong can happen at my hands. That is presumptuous. Nobody is Mr. Clean forever.
Swamiji, there is a comment in the chat box.
Oh, yes. Is it by Sai Prakash? The Isha Upanishad's mantra is, of course, truly mind-blowing. It blew up my mind. Thank you, Sai. Sai Prakash has put a comment, but is there some other you are referring to?
No, same.
Same, yeah. Yeah, I just noticed our good friend Sai Prakash is joined today. Yes, we haven't met for a long
Swamiji,
time.
Swamiji, can I say something?
Yeah, please go ahead, Sai.
Yeah, you planted a sapling in our place 7 years ago.
Yeah, you sent pictures. It is growing taller and taller.
Yeah, it is now 10 feet.
Wow.
And I've been staying here for the last 3.5 months. And your lecture today is put a dangerous thought into my mind
Oh,
that I should separate myself from so many other things I've got involved in. It may be
Oh.
chess, it may be family, it may be CSR, whatever it is. I don't know if it's dangerous or not. Let me see.
Don't do anything. Don't do anything in a hurry. Think over the matter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
well, if you really think you have taken too much on your plate, hand over some to others. And just
I was
example,
just
I'll
thinking,
give you
could I hand over everything?
one clue. Ask yourself,
Yeah.
am I holding on to something out of abhimana? Or am I holding on to something out of caring for some people? If this is the latter, then continue for some more time. If it's for abhimana, I don't want people to say, Sai Prakash gave up. See, finally he accepted defeat, he gave up. I don't want people to say like that. That way, if it is hurt pride, all of us have some pride. We protect our pride. That we should try to undo.
Right, Swamiji. Anyway, today's lecture with so many quotes from different Upanishads, 4 different Upanishads, was just fantastic, Swamiji.
Okay, last comment by anybody. Then
So
we'll
thank you, Swamiji. Whether we can get it or see again in the YouTube or something.
Yeah, it is all. This goes to YouTube within 24 hours.
Oh, thank you, Swamiji.
A little editing our Vibha Chaitanya may do. Actually, it goes instantly, but she takes it down, makes some changes, some little bit trimming. Then again, it sits there. All the webinars are on the YouTube. Go to FOWAI channel, FOWAI.
Yes. So whether we can say as this understanding as the mind and discerning knowledge as the buddhi and emotion as means the feeling for ourselves as emotions
Sure.
and the insight as our wisdom means both kindness and in the sense buddhi and mind together as wisdom with the
Yeah.
kindness which form the insight, whether we can say like that.
Yeah. mind gets purer and purer, buddhi gets more endowed with viveka as we progress spiritually. So mind and buddhi both play vital roles. As we advance in spirituality through this satsanga, mind becomes purer and buddhi begins to see things which it was not seeing before. So yesterday, Nochur Venkatraman, who is now Swami Ramana Charana Tirtha, he spoke in one talk beautifully how to get rid of Sangha dosha. So Sangha dosha by context is a dosha, a problem that has risen because of dussanga. So Sangha dosha has to be undone by Satsanga. So engage yourself more, and he was referring to that statement in Gita, Asanga Shastrena Dridayana Chitva. How to get Asanga? By getting into Satsanga of your choice. Nobody forces on you Satsanga of some liking of theirs. If you like lectures like this, that is your Satsanga. You like to go take part in some Harikatha, somebody singing glories of Krishna or Vishnu, that's also fine. Whatever works best for you, you'll feel that my mind is so much purer, calmer. I'm able to forgive, I'm able to forget, which was so difficult for me in golden days. You yourself see. Then Satsanga has worked on you.
Thank you, Swamiji. So,
All right,
mind and
nice.
buddhi getting supplied by emotion, that is acceptance.
Yeah. Various models are there. What you are saying also is acceptable. Various, that's what subjects are, Various psychologists make their own models. Because definitions vary also. What is mind? That definition varies from person to person, scholar to scholar. And then there is a dimension of interrelationship. Daniel Goleman, who wrote that pioneering book on emotional intelligence, raises a point. Does thought lead to emotion or emotion leads to thought? Then he himself says it's both ways true. You think of a wicked man, then emotion of fear may arise. Some other time, some memory and some fear rises, and that leads to some particular thoughts. So, what comes first, chicken or egg? Can't say. Thoughts lead to emotions. Emotions can, arouse, awaken particular thoughts. So there's a big interdisciplinary area. So many subjects come in. Therefore, I immediately accepted whatever you said because it makes sense. What you said also is an acceptable model.
Yes, Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji.
Meet again after 2 weeks. Till then, namaste.
There's one more
Comment.
comment on Jay.
Yeah, Sucheta ji has said, my thinking is knowledge of Vedanta and guidance of Swamis will help us to do right things. Absolutely. It helps a lot. When I heard Ramana Charana Tirtha's 20 minutes talk yesterday, I felt so benefited. Because Swamis also go to other Swamis. They go to other Swamis. And sometimes we do learn from Grahasthas too, because we are all learning from each other too. But yes, Swamis, because they are all the time engaged. So Swamis like Ramana Charana Tirtha or Paramarthananda, they are much more, established in the material. Sincerely, they have certain divine qualities about them. There are many professors who also know a lot of philosophy, but there may not be much religious quality in them generally. Exceptions everywhere there are. You have a professor in IIM Bangalore, Mahadevan, who was Vice Chancellor of Chinmaya University for 3 years, now back to IIM. He is a very pious man. He conducts Vedanta. Though he is married with probably with children, everything, he is very pious. So in God's creation, piety, being pious is not only Swami's business. Any of you, irrespective of family bondage, bank balance, etc., could be, by God's grace, raised to a higher level of piety. Yeah, you are right. Swami's company and guidance helps a lot. All right. Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you, Swamiji. Namaste.
Thank you, Swamiji. Hari Om. Namaste.
Namaste.